Welcome, Dr. Dominic. I am so glad to have you on this edition of the HR Laboratory. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayerkwemi. I am glad to be here too. On this edition, we shall be talking about the role of the HR function. So, can you please give us an overview of the overall role of the HR function? Sure. The overall role of the human resources HR function is to manage and develop an organization's workforce, which includes employees, contractors, and volunteers. The HR department is responsible for implementing policies and practices that cover recruiting, hiring, training, compensation, benefits, performance evaluation, employee engagement, and legal compliance. Okay, can you please enumerate some of the key responsibilities of the HR function? Alright. Some of the key responsibilities of the HR function include 1. Human capital management. HR is responsible for planning, developing, and managing an organization's workforce, ensuring that it has the right talent with the right skills to meet current and future needs. 2. Recruitment and selection. HR is responsible for attracting and selecting the best candidates to fill job openings. This involves developing job descriptions, advertising job vacancies, screening resumes, interviewing candidates, and making job offers. 3. Benefits and compensation. HR is responsible for administering employee benefits and designing compensation packages that are competitive and fair. 4. Compliance and employment law. HR is responsible for ensuring that the organization complies with relevant employment laws and regulations, such as equal employment opportunity, workers' compensation, and minimum wage laws. 5. Employee relations. HR is responsible for maintaining positive relationships between the organization and its employees. This includes facilitating communication, resolving disputes, providing support to employees, and managing performance issues. 6. Training and development. HR is responsible for designing and delivering training programs that help employees develop new skills and improve performance. In short, the HR function plays a critical role in managing an organization's most important asset, its people, to help achieve the organization's overall business objectives. Would you please highlight the role of HR in facilitating and managing change? Okay. Change is an inevitable part of any organization's growth and development. As such, the human resources HR function plays a critical role in facilitating and managing change in the organization. Here are some key roles of HR in change management. 1. Identifying the need for change. HR can help identify the need for change by analyzing the current state of the organization as well as future challenges and opportunities. 2. Creating a communication plan. HR can design and implement a communication plan to keep employees informed and engaged during the change process. Effective communication is essential to managing resistance to change. 3. Developing a change management plan. HR can develop a comprehensive change management plan that outlines the objectives, timelines, responsibilities, and resources required for a successful change implementation. 4. Providing training and development. HR can provide training and development programs to employees to prepare them for change. This could include training on new technologies, processes, or strategies. 5. Managing employee concerns. HR can provide support to employees who may experience difficulties during the change process. This includes addressing employee concerns, reducing stress, and ensuring that employees receive proper guidance about their roles and responsibilities. 6. Measuring success. HR can measure the success of the change process by using metrics such as employee satisfaction, productivity, and retention rates to determine whether the change has been effective. In a nutshell, HR serves as a strategic partner in organizational change by implementing effective change management strategies that help organizations adapt to changing market conditions and remain competitive in the long term. Absolutely! So, could there be variations in the practice of HR? Of course, yes. The practice of human resources HR can vary across different organizations, industries, and regions. Some variations in the practice of HR include 1. Centralized versus decentralized HR. Some organizations have a centralized HR function, where all HR activities are managed by a single department or team. Others have a decentralized HR structure, where HR responsibilities may be distributed across different departments or business units. 2. Strategic versus administrative HR. HR can be focused on administrative tasks such as payroll, benefits administration, and compliance. Alternatively, HR can be focused on strategic activities such as talent management, performance management, and succession planning. 3. Traditional versus modern HR. Traditional HR focuses on compliance and administrative tasks, while modern HR emphasizes employee engagement, culture, and innovation. 4. Country-specific HR practices. HR practices can be specific to a country or region, reflecting cultural and legal differences. For example, the practice of collective bargaining and unionization is more common in some countries than in others. 5. Industry-specific HR practices. HR practices can also vary across industries. For example, healthcare organizations may have unique HR challenges related to staffing shortages, while tech companies may prioritize employee engagement and innovation. Overall, the practice of HR can vary depending on organizational priorities, culture, and external factors such as legal and cultural differences. Effective HR practices should align with the organization's mission and values and reflect the unique needs of its workforce. Okay. How could the HR function be organized? Organizing the HR function involves designing and structuring the human resources department to ensure that it is aligned with the organization's strategic goals and objectives. The following are the key steps involved in organizing the HR function. 1. Determine HR functions and services. Define the functions HR will perform, such as recruitment, performance management, compensation and benefits, employee relations, and training and development. 2. Define roles and responsibilities. Clearly define the roles and responsibilities of the HR team and individual HR professionals, including their areas of expertise, levels of authority, and reporting lines. 3. Develop HR policies and procedures. Establish policies and procedures that support the organization's strategic goals and objectives, and ensure that they are in compliance with applicable laws and regulations. 4. Establish HR systems and technology. Identify and implement HR systems and technology such as HR information system, payroll software, and performance management software that support efficient and effective HR operations. 5. Determine HR staffing requirements. Determine the number of HR professionals required to meet the organization's needs and identify their specific skills and competencies. 6. Develop a HR budget. Develop a budget for HR activities and ensure that it is aligned with the organization's overall budgetary goals. 7. Work with other departments. Develop strong relationships with other departments to ensure that HR is integrated into the organizational structure and aligned with the overall strategy. By following these steps, organizations can build an effective HR function that helps them attract, retain, and develop talent, manage employee performance, and create a positive and productive workplace culture. Dr. Dominic, there seems to be a disconnect between perceptions of the HR function and its actual purpose. What is your position on this phenomena? This is true, and unfortunately so. Despite HR's progression toward being a more vital aspect of the business world, many disheartening perceptions persist. These negative perceptions are prevalent because many employees do not understand the obligations, influence and benefits of HR functions. HR professionals need to better market their important role as a strategic business partner. Marketing the HR function involves building awareness and promoting the value of the function within an organization. This can be done in several ways. Please, go ahead and elucidate these several ways. They include: 1. Clear and consistent communication. HR professionals need to effectively communicate their vision, mission, and objectives to all stakeholders. Employees need to understand the importance of HR in achieving organizational goals. 2. Creating a positive employer brand. HR can help create a positive employer brand that attracts high-quality talent to the organization. This includes highlighting the organization's culture, values and employee benefits. 3. Creating marketing materials. HR can create marketing materials such as internal newsletters, videos, and social media campaigns to highlight the impact of their efforts on the organization. This can help build support from stakeholders and showcase the value of the HR function. 4. Measuring and presenting results. HR should measure and track the results of their initiatives and present them in a meaningful way that demonstrates how HR adds value to the organization. Simply put, marketing the HR function involves showcasing the impact of HR efforts on the organization and building a strong employer brand that attracts and retains top talent. Preparing, justifying and protecting the HR budget. Can you please analyze these critically? I will. Preparing, justifying, and protecting the human resources HR budget is crucial for the effective functioning and success of the HR department. The HR budget needs to support the HR department's strategic objectives and align with the organization's overall goals. The following are some steps to prepare, justify, and protect the HR budget. 1. Identify HR priorities and goals. First and foremost, HR needs to identify the key priorities and goals for the department. This includes looking at the short-term and long-term goals of the organization and aligning HR goals accordingly. 2. Determine the HR budget. Once the HR goals are identified, HR should estimate the required budget to achieve those goals. This includes calculating the operational and capital expenditure, employee costs, training costs, technology expenses, and other miscellaneous expenses related to HR. 3. Justify the HR budget. HR must justify the budget expenditure by outlining the need for the budget and how it helps achieve the organization's goals. HR should explain how the budget supports the workforce's needs and helps recruit, retain, and develop talent to meet organizational objectives. 4. Communicate the budget. HR should communicate the budget to stakeholders, such as the Chief Finance Officer, CFO, and business leaders, to ensure they understand the investment and its significance in achieving organizational objectives. 5. Monitor and protect the budget. HR should closely monitor the budget throughout the year and ensure that the spending aligns with the approved budget. HR should communicate changes in the budget or unexpected expenses to stakeholders and work to mitigate any budget issues proactively. In summary, preparing, justifying, and protecting the HR budget requires a strategic and data-driven approach in prioritizing resources to drive the organization's overall objectives. What does outsourcing HR work imply? The practice of outsourcing involves buying one or more business services from an external provider. This could include HR and/or other services such as IT. Outsourcing HR work is the process of hiring a third-party provider to perform some or all of an organization's HR functions. What are the benefits of outsourcing HR work? Here are some benefits of outsourcing HR work. 1. Cost saving. Outsourcing HR work helps organizations save money on overhead costs such as salaries, benefits, software, and technology costs. 2. Better expertise. HR outsourcing companies have a pool of experienced HR professionals with diverse skills and expertise, which organizations can leverage for strategic HR initiatives. 3. Time saving. Outsourcing HR tasks frees up the internal HR team's time, allowing them to focus on more strategic and value-added activities, such as employee engagement, retention, and development. 4. Scalability. Organizations can scale their HR services up or down as their needs change, by leveraging the flexibility and scalability offered by HR outsourcing vendors. 5. Risk management. HR outsourcing companies are up to date with the latest employment legislation and regulations, resulting in reduced risk of non-compliance. What about the limitations? The limitations of outsourcing HR work includes 1. Limited control. Outsourcing HR work can mean reduced control over the HR function, which can result in a lack of alignment with the organization's strategic goals. 2. Loss of confidentiality. Outsourcing HR work introduces a third-party provider into the organization's confidential HR operations. 3. Loss of institutional knowledge. Outsourcing may lead to a lack of understanding of the company's culture and values, or increased reliance on external expertise, leading to a loss of institutional knowledge. 4. Communication barriers. The success of outsourcing HR work may depend on communication and responsiveness from the outsourcing provider, which can be challenging to achieve. Please enlighten us about shared HR services. Shared HR services refer to a model in which multiple business units or departments within an organization share a common set of HR services and resources. This can include functions such as recruiting and staffing, compensation management, benefits administration, employee relations, and training and development. The concept of shared HR services has become increasingly popular in recent years as organizations seek to streamline their HR functions and improve efficiency. A shared services model can reduce duplication of effort and allow organizations to focus their resources on core business activities. Are there more benefits to it? Please illuminate. Benefits of shared HR services include 1. Cost savings. By pooling resources and expertise, shared HR services can reduce costs associated with HR functions. 2. Improved efficiency. A shared HR services model can improve the efficiency and speed of HR processes, reducing bureaucratic obstacles and allowing for more agile decision-making. 3. Increased standardization. Shared services can help establish consistent practices and procedures across functional areas and departments, ensuring compliance and reducing errors. 4. Access to specialized expertise. Shared service models can provide access to specialized HR expertise that might not be otherwise available to smaller business units or departments. 5. Enhanced employee experience. A shared HR services model can lead to a more consistent, user-friendly employee experience across the organization. Any challenges? Some potential challenges of shared HR services include the need for clear communication and coordination among departments and business units, potential resistance to change, and the need for ongoing investment in technology and infrastructure. Please elucidate briefly the role of HRM consultants. HRM consultants can be valuable to organizations in many ways. They bring specialized expertise, resources, and a fresh perspective to help address challenges and identify opportunities in human resource management. How can organizations benefit from hiring HRM consultants? Here are some ways in which organizations can benefit from hiring HRM consultants. 1. Objective assessment of HR policies and practices. HRM consultants can conduct a comprehensive review of HR policies and practices to ensure they are aligned with the organization's strategic goals and legal requirements. This includes reviewing recruitment and selection, compensation and benefits, performance management, and training and development. 2. Developing and implementing HR strategies. HRM consultants can help develop and implement HR strategies to ensure the organization has the talent it needs to meet business goals. This includes forecasting future workforce needs, planning for succession, and designing career development programs. 3. Managing change. HRM consultants can assist with managing change initiatives such as mergers and acquisitions, restructuring, and reorganization. They can help with communication, training, and developing new HR policies and practices. 4. Technology implementation. HRM consultants can help organizations select and implement new HR technologies such as HR information systems, applicant tracking systems, and performance management software. 5. Training and development. HRM consultants can provide customized training programs to develop employees' skills and competencies in areas such as leadership development, customer service, communication, and conflict resolution. In summary, HRM consultants can bring a wealth of expertise to organizations and help address complex HR challenges. They can assist with identifying and implementing HR strategies, managing change, implementing new technologies, and developing employees. Evaluating the HR function. Is this necessary? Evaluating the HR function is vital to ensure that the department is functioning effectively and efficiently. An HR evaluation helps identify areas of strength, weaknesses, and areas of improvement, providing HR leaders with valuable insights to enhance their performance and contribute to the organization's overall strategy. Please, expound the steps in evaluating the HR function. Here are some steps to follow while evaluating the HR function. 1. Set goals. Identify clear goals that you wish to achieve from the HR evaluation. Determine the scope and objectives of the evaluation, which can be the entire HR department or specific programs or functions. 2. Collect data. Collect data from various sources, HR process and policies, surveys, feedback from stakeholders, employees, managers, and executives. This helps get an accurate picture of what's working and what's not. 3. Analyze the data. This is to get a comprehensive understanding of the HR function's strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. 4. Identify gaps. Identify the gaps between the current and desired state of the HR function. Determine the priorities, which helps HR functions address critical issues in their organizations. 5. Develop an action plan. An action plan to address the gaps and areas for improvement, assigning roles, responsibilities, timelines, and budgets. 6. Implement and monitor the action plan. This is the most crucial step as it involves implementing the action plan and monitoring its progress. 7. Measure results. Finally, evaluate the results obtained from the implemented action plan using metrics such as employee turnover rate, employee satisfaction, time to hire, etc. The results will help identify if the improvements made in the HR function have achieved their intended goals. In summary, evaluating the HR function is essential to identify areas for improvement and develop an action plan to align the HR function better with organizational objectives. It helps HR functions provide efficient and quality services that contribute to organizational success. Thank you so much, Dr. Dominic, for such an insightful session with you. The pleasure is mine, Mr. Ayerkweme. Please, join us some other time, for another edition. I'll look forward to that.